Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you are listening to this show, and welcome to a special episode of Legends Rise and Elder Scrolls Online podcast, where we educate players new and old about the game itself, whether it's how to run dungeons, discussing combat, chatting about crafting, posing information about PvP, gabbing about guilds, babbling about builds, and so much more. I am your host, Marcus Axford, and I am joined with my best friend in the whole world, and a man I've done a lot of recordings and projects with, Kenny Stella.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus Christ. And so it begins. I should warn everyone that there might be a few more darker jokes than normal, as I do a lot of my comedy with Kenny, and we can't seem to stop. So,
Yeah.
Kenny, do you want to tell the fine folks out there why I drug you onto a podcast for a game that you know nothing about?
Yes, because I play video games, and that makes my opinion valid, apparently.
That's not what I meant.
I don't know.
Uh, what, Kenny, we talked about this in the green
I
room.
know.
We talked about this. What did we just have happen here this past weekend?
The Xbox Showcase!
There we go. I was about to do the whole thing of, Kenny, no, he's learning.
He's learning.
Oh my god. Just, if you guys haven't seen it yet, I know everybody's getting sick of the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, but go, what is it? Johnny Depp house tour on YouTube. It's totally
Oh, yeah.
it's totally
Johnny Depp house tour.
it's totally worth it. Amber, no.
Amber, no.
She's learning. Jesus Christ. But yes,
It's a pretty funny video.
we did in fact have the Xbox and Bethesda Showcase here on Sunday, and they had an extended show on Tuesday, I believe. Another 90-minute showcase, which I actually didn't really see. We had one of our Discord members, David, watch it, and he's like, I stopped about 40 minutes in because it was just nothing really. So we are going to talk about it today. I haven't recorded with Kenny in quite some time, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity because we both love talking about video games, and it is relevant to the show and the conversation at hand. So I thought we would talk about the Bethesda Showcase, the Xbox Showcase, the extended, and everything in between. So I apologize if it seems like I'm out of sorts, because you figure it's been a while since I've been behind the mic, and I've been moving. So it's actually going to be the last time you guys are going to be hearing the intro music. I just recorded the brand new intro music for when we come back here next week, I believe. So that's going to be super exciting. But before we get into it, we want to remind you that Legends Rise is part of the Pop Culture FM network, which Kenny is a part of. And if you want to join our amazing community, you can come join our personal Discord server for Legends Rise, and links to that are on our Twitter or Facebook at Legends Rise ESO. We also have an Instagram where we post pics of our adventures, and you can find that at Legends Rise ESO as well. And we are on YouTube, which you might be watching this for. So if you're listening to this through our podcast, you can find the links to all of our stuff in the description, and vice versa if you're watching on YouTube. Finally, if you love listening to us here and want more, you can go to patreon.com/legendsriseeso, and for $5 a month, you can get this show ad-free, you can get a shout-out on the show, you can message in with your comments and questions, and have access to other cool stuff like exclusive merch, early access to bonus episodes, and exclusive Discord roles to access some cool exclusive stuff we are working on. You guys help keep this show going. Your money helps us solve problems that arise, like hardware failures on the fly, and we are able to upgrade equipment, do giveaways, and all sorts of awesome stuff. Speaking of, God, what was I talking about? The new intro music and other new stuff. But speaking of which, YouTube. Sorry. If you are watching this on YouTube, you will actually see my new office in the background. You'll see all the really cool stuff that I finally got to post. You'll see some of my Halo stuff, my Witcher stuff, of course, tons of ESO or just Elder Scrolls in general related. I have a couple of swords on the wall behind me as well. One of them is just a generic sword that was just really cool looking. The one above it is actually Sting, which was Bilbo's sword in The Hobbit. So a lot of cool stuff going on there in the background too. Magic the Gathering. I even have a Conan O'Brien Funko Pop back there. So, so, all right. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. All right.
Oh yeah.
Kenny, let's start by sharing our initial thoughts, our overall grade of the showcase. I know we talked about it extensively, but yeah, what'd you think?
So I thought it was good. Um, Maybe not as good as like others in the past. They always usually do a pretty good job the last few years. I feel like really bringing up the hype for games, putting out stuff for Game Pass, really pushing out the uh, we own Bethesda now, and we might own Blizzard
I
soon,
was gonna say, I'm
kind
like,
of thing. With Overwatch. But yeah, it's still a good showcase either way. Even though there were certain things that I was kind of hoping for that were going to be announced of certain games and franchises. But I mean, we'll get into it later. But I think the big fish in the room is Starfield that I can't wait to talk about.
oh God, yes, and a Bethesda title. So I
Yes.
didn't know if you wanted to get the Bethesda part out of the way since there was only a handful of stuff that they talked about, or if you wanted to do that towards the end.
Don't matter to me.
Okay, we can open with Bethesda. Um, there's also going to be a wonderful Halo discussion that is going to be in relation to ZOS, and you know what I mean because God knows I've talked about it over and over and over again, but we'll get to that as well. But yeah, I was excited. It's our once a year event. It's like the Super Bowl for gamers. It's like me and Leah were hanging out. We had I made Deadpool waffles. We had breakfast and grabbed coffee and sat down and started to watch. And of course, it was great at first. But as it's going farther and farther into it, I mean, because we all have expectations of what we want to see. And by the end, I'm just like, well, that was a good show. There have definitely been worse shows, but I felt they were just missing a whole bunch of stuff. There's like about 5 things that I thought of right off the bat that we haven't seen. This will be the 3rd year we haven't seen. I don't know if you want me to list them now, but we were, hoping to see Fable. Fable wasn't there. Not even a new trailer. Like, I wasn't expecting, big, showcases for these games, but I wanted at least, for Microsoft to at least touch base with the community and go, hey, well, we want to remind you these things still exist. State of Decay 3 was another one where it got announced 3 years ago. Or was it last year? Because you and I watched E3 last year. That, to clarify,
I think it was last year that they announced.
Okay. Well, then I'll give them a little bit of a break on that one. Because yeah, to clarify, this wasn't an E3 year. There was no E3 this year, unfortunately. So it was strictly just, well, Microsoft's is obviously going to do their own showcase anyway, and Jeff Keighley organized Summer Games Fest. Only it's now in place of E3 instead of last year where it was more in July and stuff like that. So. But okay, I'll give him a pass on State of Decay 3, although I was still really hoping that, especially with the trailer we got last year, with the hunter in the forest and the fucking rabid zombie deer thing, like, oh my god, I'm like, I want to play this game. Hoping for a Gears announcement, because it's been a hot minute since we've heard about Gears of War. Didn't get that. Uh, didn't hear anything about Halo either, which, everybody might be thinking, why would you? Halo Infinite just came out. Well, we're maybe hoping for some Season 3 talk, a roadmap, something. Me and Kenny, we grew up on Halo, so we play Halo Infinite a lot. And the game just kind of bugs us. There's just not a whole lot of content. And it's been like 6-7 months since the game's been released, and there's still we've gotten 2 maps. One of them is tied to a specific game type and not accessible through custom games, although I could be wrong on that one. And yeah,
it's one of the map that we're talking about is for the mode Last Spartan Standing, and you can play it with different modes on with your friends, by yourselves, but you can't online. It's specifically for that mode.
Right. So that just sucks. I mean, the new map we got was great, but this is where that conversation I talked about earlier is going to come into play of, because they're talking about, okay, we're going to get, well, they didn't say it outright, but it's implied that we're going to get story DLC. It's the worst kept secret in the gaming industry that we are going to get story DLC for Halo 3. Or not Halo 3, God, Halo Infinite.
Halo
3. Why did I say that? Oh my God, it's late. But the thing that I thought of was the fact that ZOS, or ZeniMax Online for the uneducated, they have a wonderful layout every single year for content. First quarter is Dungeon DLC to kick off the year-long event for whatever story they're wanting to tell. The second quarter is the chapter, so actually High Isle is this year's, so we just got it for PC. It's going to come out for console here in, I think 5 days, next Tuesday, I believe, the 21st.
Yes.
So, there's that. We're going to get another Dungeon DLC, and then we're going to get a smaller story zone at the end of the year. Now imagine if 343 had that model. Not only is, it just straight up promises content. We can, that's the nice thing about ESO is we always expect to get our content. And ZeniMax is pretty much they've only had to delay things 2 times in all the years that ESO has existed, of memory. So it's that'd be amazing if 343 Industries was okay, we'll do multiplayer maps in the first quarter. We'll do our big DLC, campaign DLC in the second quarter, more multiplayer stuff, then finishing off with more story stuff. Perfect. And that way you're also pleasing the fans because they know content's coming. They're never going to ask you what's up, what's going on, when are we going to get the next thing, blah, 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 blah. Not to mention the fact that I really hate to get on the broken game bandwagon because God knows enough people do that, and I don't like jumping on those kind of bandwagons, but just Halo Infinite should not have released in the state that it did. Don't get me wrong, game multiplayer early was fantastic, but it's just the fact that half the game is just not there. It's a good game, it's a fun game, but it's missing content. So
tons of content. They really need to look at what ZeniMax is doing and taken the idea of, oh, hey, here's our roadmap. Here's, what's coming out with content. This is what we're going to do. And they also should have just, if they're going to release a game, we look at ZeniMax and we look at, other companies like Nintendo and Sony that are oh, we're not going to release this game yet because, we want it to be the best that it can be and give you what you're paying for. Even though part of the multiplayer, yes, we did get for free for Halo Infinite, which I'm grateful for, but at the same time, it's just a cash grab right now. And a lot of players, at least of our generation, people over 30, I'm not going to go out and spend, $100 on, a bunch of character skins, that are barely going to be used. And they really need to look at what the players want comparatively to what the players, need to pay for.
I mean, yeah, I'm looking at, in fact, like my ESO is fired up in front of me right now. And just before we hit record, I was looking at you going, oh, I know you have no idea what I'm talking about, but it's like, oh, the Lady Thorn Arms pack. Oh, it's 2,500 crowns, which
It's beautiful.
Anybody who knows what, so 2,500 crowns, I mean, you figure 1,500 crowns is $15. So it's like, it's just 6 cosmetic things to make your weapons look pretty for like $25. But I mean, I have ESO Plus, so I get 1,500. No, I'm sorry, I get 1,650 crowns a month, and so I save my crowns. But I'm looking at that, going, that's worth it, because here's the thing. I mean, and to make the point, yes, I understand we're talking apples to oranges here. It's a shooter. This is an MMO, and to that point, like, cosmetics work so much better for an MMO because you constantly have people around you all the time that are appreciating the way your character looks. When you're playing a fast-paced, shooter, no one's really paying attention too often. They're busy trying to kill you, or they're busy trying to, not die from you or whatever. So that kind of thing. But yeah, the way that they've mishandled everything thus far is, I guess, to bring the point back to the showcase, I was just really hoping for some sort of big update, because the big confusing thing is the fact that, well, if you're struggling, hire more people. You are a Microsoft-owned and backed and created company. You have Microsoft dollars. We know how much money Microsoft has. To your point, they just showed it off earlier this year. $7 billion of it. So, or not $70 billion of it. Very big difference in buying Blizzard, which, by the way, it was really weird to, see Overwatch in this showcase. I'm like, oh, that's right, they did. I'm like, should they really be doing that since the acquisition isn't technically official yet? But I don't know. So that's I think that was kind of,
one thing I was kind of surprised that they didn't bring out in this was that we did not get any news on, speaking of Elder Scrolls games, Elder Scrolls 6.
Actually, let me go ahead and bring up my notes real quick, because we'll just head on over to the Bethesda section real quick. They're like you were saying earlier, their big thing this year was Starfield, because people have been wanting to know what that game was all about. And it sucks that's getting delayed, but I mean, you and I talked about this. When they're like, you see all these planets, you can go to all of them and you can explore all this, and you can build your own ship and build your own base and this, that, the other. I'm like, man, that all looks really great. Does not look like the game for me. That looks like way too much. That looks like somebody who is either 16 or unemployed.
Yeah. I mean, it looks great. I mean, the game looks like for me, I've never really been a big Bethesda fan besides Doom. But that's kind of like a different story. But with when you look at Fallout and you look at Elder Scrolls, there's so much you can do in these games, and so much, different environments and stuff. And this one kind of excites me because it's I'm more for the space and sci-fi, exploring planets, looking at different alien creatures, different life forms, cosmic kind of stuff. I'm really into that more so, kind of like with Halo, and that's why it's one of my favorite franchises. But the game just looks absolutely beautiful, and I hope that they can keep all the promises that they have with it, with all the stuff you just brought up. And if they do that, then a lot of the community is going to be happy. I mean, like 1,000 planets. Like I read earlier today, I was like, no, like that. What? Like I know that'll be progressively coming out when the game comes out with like all its content, because there's no way they can like if they're going to drop 1,000 planets like that. I'd be like, how did you manage this?
Well, I mean, we've got like so, and somebody mentioned this too. It feels like a mix of Mass Effect and No Man's Sky done with a Bethesda skin to it. So,
Hmm.
and that to that point, something that that same person said was the fact that like I would be. It's not that it's not glorious looking. It's just already been done before. I'd be more in awe of it if No Man's Sky hadn't been a thing. If this had been the thing first instead of No Man's Sky. And I would have been like, oh my god, this is so beautiful and impressive. And it's not that it's not, it's just not bringing to the table, something that hasn't been done before. And I don't know if they're going to, bring to the table all the promises. I mean, Todd Howard, he's a sexy liar.
Yeah, and from what I've heard from the past, yeah.
It's
Um,
a running joke because somebody is like, "What are you talking about?" He's a handsome man and he lies about things. Lying is a harsh word, I know, but that's the running joke. Um, it's
um,
the fact that yeah, we've had features promised for certain games. I don't remember offhand because it dates way back, and people started going well, you duped us again, Todd Howard. So and then yeah, I think when I did Gamerfield Studios live with my co-host Josh, he was talking about that. I don't know if it started with him, but yeah, the whole sexy liar thing. Um, so, but that's where that running joke comes from. So,
yeah.
but
Um,
I'll be interested. I mean, everything that they have showed for the showcase, every single game is going to be free to Game Pass subscribers. So there is that.
yeah, and that's what makes me more excited about like all these new titles for Bethesda coming out. I mean, I know I feel the pain for some of the other players that are like, oh, now these games are exclusive and I can't play them on my PlayStation or
See,
Switch right away, But, I mean, PlayStation and Nintendo have been doing it forever. So what's going to be the difference, folks?
yeah, which one of our
And
friends was so pissed off that he's not going to be able to get to play High on Life?
yeah, oh yeah, one of our buddies who was also on Pop Culture FM with us and stuff.
Yeah, shout out to Lulu.
Um, yeah, Lulu. But yeah, like but it makes me excited because with this game coming out, and it makes me excited to see what Fallout and Elder Scrolls are going to do. When they come out with 6 and probably Elder Scrolls, Fallout 5,
Well,
and
did you hear
you,
about Todd Howard said that Fallout 5 is coming after Elder Scrolls
yes.
6? So,
Yes, and
and
it makes me excited to see what they're going to do with these games, because even though I'm not like the biggest fan of these games, the worlds are beautiful. They're massive, they're huge, and even the little bit of time I played Elder Scrolls Online, which I will eventually pick it back up again.
all he will okay,
Um,
I will say and this is a perfectly viable playstyle if you want to do it. All Kenny wants to do is breaking the law, breaking the law.
Breaking the law.
And you could
yeah.
do that. You could just go around and steal shit and do like the Thieves Guild quest, and that's all you want to do. And that's perfectly viable. You could skip everything else and just break the law all day long.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. I had an entire like 6 hour session with another friend when Marcus got off. I stayed up until like 5 in the morning playing Elder Scrolls Online, and all we did was just rob people
I
and
know.
kill them.
I was surprised. I'm like, wait, you did what? This is so weird. You guys know when you have that thing that you just constantly play, and you have that friend who's like, I don't really think I'm gonna be into it. But then they end up playing it hours after you've gotten off, and you're like, wait, you did what? You're playing my thing? This is so weird. The thing that becomes your identity in life.
Yeah. Yeah, and but yeah, like speaking about the whole, with these two games coming out, the worlds are just, beautiful, and I'm starting to like look more into the lore of like Fallout, and I knew a bit for Elder Scrolls because my wife loved Skyrim like no tomorrow. She would play the soundtrack when we'd go to bed, and she still does.
I
I
do
bet.
too.
I bet if I
I
walked into
do
her room
too. Oh my god, I
right
didn't know
now,
Melanie did that. That's awesome.
I would be playing. So
It's
sometimes she'll
so
have like an Elder Scrolls like playlist
it's so
playing in the
peaceful
background, and it
though.
could just be random music from all the games.
Oh, that's so great. Oh, I
Um,
want to hug Melanie now. That's so great. I didn't know she did that.
yeah, right. But yeah, it's really exciting to see what they're going to do, and hopefully with Xbox's help, they'll be able to push those boundaries even more and get more of what they need out of their games. Even though they've done well without them for a long time, I'm hoping that more will come with them, and that the games will continue to be, what people want to see out of them, and not, be a dumpster fire like some companies we've seen gone through when they buy out things.
Yeah. Um, Keeping along the Bethesda line, there's just a couple more of them. Of course, we got the High Isle trailer, which, of course, as always, the trailers they do are absolutely stunning and gorgeous. And then we have the Pit expansion for Fallout 76, which I've heard people talk about it who'd play it on PTS say they have nothing good to say about it. I have high hopes for it because it's like, wow, we're getting to go outside of the wasteland. We get to experience DLC that we haven't experienced since Fallout 3 back in, 2008, I think? Yeah, I think it was 2008. But I'm still excited overall. I know Fallout 76 isn't the greatest game, but it does have to your point, a gorgeous world. Me and Leah love playing it together, but it's fun to just explore the world and just dick around at my camp. It's what I do a lot of when I'm not like going out and doing missions and stuff like that. So I'm excited for that as well. But that was pretty much, the Bethesda. There wasn't anything like super grand. They just like really heavily emphasized Starfield, and it didn't feel separate from the Xbox Showcase. It was literally like 20 minutes of the Xbox Showcase, maybe another 25 minutes of not even that, I would say 20 or less, of the Bethesda. Then they do Xbox again, and then they cap off with Hideo Kojima. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow. And yeah, then doing the 15 minutes gameplay of Starfield. So again, it looks good. I'll play a little bit of it. Was it you who had a problem with the HUD on it?
The HUD?
Yeah, maybe it was Leah who said, because I think it was Leah she's sitting there going, I don't like the HUD.
Maybe it was her.
Yeah, she did not like the
I don't
heads-up
think
display
so.
at all. So, at least I think it was her. Somebody said it. So, but that was pretty much the Bethesda one. Yeah, there wasn't much that was wholly notable with the Xbox Showcase for me, at least. We got to see Redfall, which is basically Left 4 Dead with vampires. So
Yeah.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited. I'm really hoping that Redfall kind of brings the familiarity that Back 4 Blood sadly didn't. I'm not saying it was a bad game, but the fact that you couldn't play it by yourself. I mean, you could, but you still had. Well, I guess you still had bots for Left 4 Dead as well, but it's just the fact that it was such a hard ass campaign. Like,
Yeah.
we couldn't get past it. and we're seasoned gamers. Like, we know how to coordinate all this crap. It was impossible. So it was just so
Yeah.
hard, and there was no difficulty setting on either. So I'm hoping Redfall gives us. What do you think of the gameplay for it? Of what we saw?
Um, I thought it looked really cool. Just just that it was like a different element that we haven't ran into, and that to that kind of like style of gameplay, because usually in that kind of style of gameplay, like kind of like that, like Left 4 Dead style, it's been mostly like zombies or robots
Right,
or
right.
drones or aliens,
It's like
or
Borderlands
the other soldiers kind of thing.
it's like Borderlands meets Left 4 Dead. You kind of got
Hmm.
that kind of Borderlandsy play style, but with the like 4-player co-op feeling. The different types of vampires you're gonna have to face. They're not hordes of vampires per se, but they are numerous enough. Where again, yeah, it's like, wow, this feels very familiar, and I really enjoy that aspect of it. I wasn't sure about it last year, and sadly, uh, I looked at it this year. I'm like, well, crap. I'm really sad that it's that it got delayed. um, let's see. We got Hollow Knight Silk Song. I'm not gonna go through each and every one of these. I'm just gonna kind of do the notable ones. I talked about earlier real briefly. High on Life, the
Oh
the Rick
yes.
and Morty video game. Essentially, it's not of Rick and Morty, but it's Justin Roiland's creation, and it looks fantastic. I love Justin Roiland's his art style, his humor. It's gruesome. It's not like kid friendly by no means. It's but it's colorful. It's weird, and a lot of times these kind of games don't necessarily hit for me. But maybe it's just because of the pedigree it has behind it. I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's what I like about it is it's like you don't get very many besides Borderlands. You don't get very many shooters that are very comedic.
Right.
Where Borderlands is kind of its own kind of entity because it's like it's a shooter, but it's not. It's like an RPG, but it's weird. It's its own like entity kind of thing, even though it is a shooter. But this game just like kind of brings that shooter story element to it that is kind of like bringing in the comedy, and especially with the comedy of like how he does Rick and Morty and all that stuff. Just the when I saw a talking gun, I was like, okay, you got me sold. The talking gun. That sounds like Morty. What in the hell is going on here? I mean, and it just looks beautiful. Everything about it is just like I like. I think out of all the trailers besides Starfield that popped up, that was the one that was like, I'm getting that
Yes.
when
No,
it comes out.
I
Either
absolutely agree.
buying it over Game Pass or buying it myself.
Yeah, I will spend money on this thing if I have to. And being Justin Roiland's creation, I have full faith that this is going to come out whole. It's not going to be a broken game. I'm not saying it won't have some issues. Games always do, for the most
Oh,
part.
hands down.
But Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon, I'm not saying Dan Harmon's involved with this, but those two know how to be patient when it comes to their creativity. They will work and work and work until it is done exactly as it needs to be. They showed us that with the first 3 seasons of Rick and Morty, where, they took years to develop each season. And granted, they've picked up the pace now, which sadly I still haven't seen the recent season, I don't think. But they've shown us. I mean, I don't know how they are with video games. I know that they have a couple of creations out.
Yeah, they got a few games. I don't know what all the games are, but I
Neither
know
do
that
I.
their studio's named after one of the characters in Rick and Morty. I
Okay.
think his name's
Oh,
Squanch.
yeah. That's
Squanch
right.
Studios.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Squash. Yeah. So, but I still, I don't know the quality of those games. But again, just of what I know of their their tenure and stuff like that, their reputation. I'm very excited, and I know this game is going to be really freaking awesome. We talked about Riot Games earlier, and again, it was kind of a weird thing to see. Seeing Overwatch 2. Um, Kenny, do you think this is a game that needed to exist, or do you think they could have just expanded upon the original Overwatch?
Overwatch 2.
Yeah,
I feel like they could have expanded on Overwatch.
that's what a lot of people are
It's
feeling.
already it's its own kind of like platform as it is, and they could have just, here's an add-on, pay $60 to get story and extra maps and other stuff, and people would have said sure, instead of buying a whole brand new game, because like a lot of players get worried that like this is kind of like the thing for like most gamers, is that you put so much money into a game, especially like Overwatch that's been out for so long and has been its own platform for a long time. You move over to the next game, you lose all the skins you spent your money on. You lose everything you spent your money on. And the good thing is that they're going to allow you to move over all your skins to the next game. So your account is still attached to your other account. And the best part about Overwatch 2 as well is that it's kind of the downside, but the good side at the same time when I say this. So the characters, the new characters are going to be in Overwatch 1 as well, from what I understand and what I've been reading. They're going to be moved over, but we don't get the new maps or the new game modes or the new play styles in Overwatch 1. So if you want to try out all the new stuff, you got to move over to Overwatch 2. And for the campaign as well, which I've really liked the world of Overwatch. I've really enjoyed all the little movies and videos that they've made for the series, to kind of get lore. And this time we're actually going to get some more lores and actual cutscenes and, missions. And, you kind of get more of a feel for the characters than just, hi, I'm Tracer. And, you barely know anything about her except for her little backstory in a YouTube video. And that's it. That's all you know of the character. It's just this little backstory, and that's it. Unless, you go online and do research on, some of the lore and if they have comics and other stuff, which I'm not 100% on all the comics because I haven't really looked up everything. It looks good. It looks good. Like, it really does. But there's some things that need to be worked on once the game comes out, especially 5v5 instead of 6v6. And some characters have changed classes. Like Doomfist is now, instead of a support character, he's now a tank, and which that will change up the gameplay for sure.
Yeah. I believe it was DPS going to tank. He was DPS, wasn't he?
I think so.
Yeah. See, now I can't remember. But
yeah,
it's like coming out with Minecraft 2. It just doesn't make sense. You're not introducing.
I was surprised it wasn't announced. I'm kidding.
Oh, that was the thing that I forgot to put on my list. I was really hoping for Minecraft 2.
Yeah, Minecraft 2, man.
But yeah, like, it is super confusing. Why are you? The only thing I can think of is they wanted to basically make a new platform that utilizes the next gen technology from the ground up. That's literally the only other reason I can think of why they would make this move. Other than that, there's really no reason to. I mean, I'm as excited as I can be. It's going to be free to play, so again, no excuse not to try it out. But I'm not like some of the other people who are like, screaming at the top of their lungs we might still see it. I'm sorry, butterfly moment. I was thinking, I'm really hoping we see some Dead Space at Summer Games Fest. I don't know where that's gonna pop off at. I know it wouldn't have popped off here because it's not exclusive to Xbox, but that was another game that I'm really hoping that we're actually going to see at some point. before Summer Games Fest is over. But yeah, Overwatch 2, and basically talking about Riot. They talked about League of Legends Wild Rift, Valorant, Legends of Runeterra, and Teamfight Tactics. The games are technically free to play. They'll become the agents, cards, and champions will become free purchase when it arrives to Xbox Game Pass. I believe they're not coming to console. I think this is just for PC and mobile.
Which I feel that's kind of like a big move for Riot, putting their games onto Game Pass. It kind of surprised me when I saw it. I was like, oh wow, and they really do really well on like Overwatch, League of Legends and all that stuff. In the world of it, and it's a really cool world. And I never got into it personally, but I know a little bit of it, and it's kind of exciting to see for at least some newer players getting into these franchises, being like, oh, cool, it's going to be on Game Pass. I can actually try out this game for once.
Right.
Especially if they're paying for PC Game Pass.
By the way, I should point out to everybody, because I like to respect the people who do work on these articles. That this is by Kevin Lee over at IGN is where I'm pulling this. Basically, it's just a highlight reel. It's not talking about every little thing, but they showed off a Plague's Tale Requiem, which I still got to play through the first one because the games look awesome. They showed off the next Forza Motorsport game, which, by the way, the graphics we're seeing for Forza Motorsport is going to be the exact same engine we're going to see for Fable. So that is, if I was to get any sort of shred of Fable from this showcase, at least I got that. Seeing how beautiful this game is going to be, and I'm going to be very excited. I mean, the trailer they showed off like 3 years ago. Remember last year? I was so pissed. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's the same exact goddamn trailer. They couldn't have even been bothered to make a new short trailer. And of course, we didn't see Fable at all. But I've heard some rumors that because Playground is a racing studio, it's kind of going through a little bit of development hell right now. So I'm really hoping that's not the case, but we'll see. All right, Kenny. It's the game we were all hoping for.
Minecraft 2?
Microsoft Flight Simulator. And getting the Halo's Pelican for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I remember getting excited when I heard the music fire off, because I thought that they're going to go from Flight Simulator to, oh, hey, we're going to talk about Halo. And then they did that, and I'm like, fuck you guys. I don't care about Flight Simulator. Stop making me care about Flight Simulator.
Yeah, they're really trying to push that game right now, and they, I mean, I get it. If you're really into that kind of game, go for it. For me, not so much. I mean, if I had the Flight Simulator like actual controls, then maybe I'd try it, but not on a controller. It doesn't seem as fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's like some up and downs in that moment, because it was like, oh, that's really cool that you guys are making a Pelican in the game, mode, after you guys just did the Top Gun DLC for free through Game Pass. That's cool. Wow. Yeah. And then I watched a video on some people trying to figure it out. The Pelican, and people were getting angry. It was hilarious. But yeah, that's what I was hoping too. I was like, oh man, maybe we're going to get some Halo stuff out of it. No,
which is weird, because there's a Polygon article I have up too that lists off the things that are coming in 2022 and 2023. I mean, I guess maybe having season 3 of Halo Infinite on there is appropriate, because we know it's coming. So maybe it's not necessarily what was showed at the releases or the showcases. I don't know. We did get a cinematic trailer for Arc 2, aka Vin Diesel is Jurassic Park.
Vin Diesel Jurassic Park. I remember that. The sequel to Dominion. Or the prequel, one of the two.
Oh my god. Um, have you seen the trailer? Well, okay, yeah, you saw the whole thing. That's why I have you on. Scorn. What'd you think?
Um,
Is it too gory for you?
it didn't really leave an impression on me. It was gory and it was interesting, but I don't think I'm gonna pick it up. It looks interesting. I don't know. I would need more gameplay before I would jump into that. That seems like a game I would do a stream on with a friend,
Yeah.
going through that horror-filled game,
What?
because I mean it's interesting, that's for sure, but it's like at the same time it's like it ain't my cup of tea.
Well, what is it? You like stroke the meat gun in order to reload. Somebody said stroke
Yeah,
my meat gun or something like that.
yeah.
Like, oh my god. Yeah, I listened to podcast Unlocked Live Reaction today to kind of get in the hype mode for doing this episode, and I think it was Destin Legary who was like, "Yeah, stroke my meat gun" or something like that. That's what I've always wanted to say in a video game. So, but yeah, you can hear every drip, every slurp, everything.
Oh,
Yeah, like Miranda Sanchez was like, "Oh no, I don't want any
I
of
don't feel good,
this."
Mr. Snark.
Just, oh,
Yeah, I don't want to hear slurping when I'm loading up a gun.
oh, it's gonna be so wunderbar.
Oh
Yeah, so October 21st for that one, so just before Halloween. I'm excited. I believe
yeah, that'll
Life.
be really good for Halloween. Maybe then I will. Yeah, definitely.
I'm checking it real quick because I think High on Life also comes out in October.
Is it October? I thought it was in July.
Do you want me to double check?
I mean, you can double check.
High on Life release date. When does High on Life release? Dun, 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 dun. Why can't you just tell me when it's gonna release? Why do you have to give me this like full? Oh, here we go. October 25th. So,
Oh,
so yeah, it's gonna be releasing after Scorn. So,
oh, I have to wait.
yep, you have to wait.
They're gonna make me wait. They're gonna make me wait. Oh, those bastards.
Flintlock Siege of Dawn was an interesting trailer. It doesn't look necessarily like my cup of tea, but just because I don't think I'm gonna like something or play something, doesn't mean I obviously think the game is bad. I really love seeing what some of these studios can come up with, you know, because Penitent, Penitent, it's somewhere around here. But the Obsidian has been working on it, I believe, or an offshoot of Obsidian. I can't remember. But it's do you know what I'm talking about? The shoot.
It probably didn't stick with me.
Oh, Pentiment. Pentiment. It's in old art style. The entire thing is gonna be like narrative kind of thing. Very, very different. Does it say? Yeah, Obsidian. Obsidian is doing this. So it was a really interesting because, you know, Obsidian is known for doing 3D open world kind of stuff. So this is extremely different from what they normally do. There's no combat to it. It's just kind of a narrative driven thing. So that'll be interesting. As Dusk Falls is another interesting one. Kind of sort of along the lines of Life is Strange a little bit, but I think Life is Strange meets Walking Dead. The Telltale game.
Yeah,
style.
that's kind of what I thought, like, with the game as well. Looks interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for it. If it's anything like Life is Strange, I'm on board, because Life is Strange was, I wish I had gotten on that hype train when it was first. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not really into narrative stuff or slow pace. I like more fast paced stuff. But after that, I really started, it was on Game Pass. It still is, I think. So I played What Remains of Edith Finch, which was another narrative one. And holy crap, I recommend narratives to people. It's, by the time you're done, you get that same feeling of after reading a book or after experiencing the series finale to something. It's just, you reflect on everything that happened and all the choices that you made. So it's just, oh my god. Let's see. What else stood out? Minecraft Legends. That was an interesting thing that's coming out. What'd you think?
Yeah, just let's play Minecraft Pikmin. It's exactly what I got from it.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna... Again, I might try it out. I tried out Minecraft Dungeons. I enjoyed Minecraft Dungeons, but not enough to make me want to keep coming back, And again...
I heard that game's more fun with friends.
It probably is. Because again, I'm not saying the game's bad at all. I loved it. I had a lot of fun with what I played of it. But yeah, certain games I think just require playing with friends. Let's see. Grounded comes out of its preview finally. If you like fighting giant spiders.
So, no, I don't. But I played the game when it first came out. The first version of it. And the concept seemed really interesting and a lot of fun. I'm kind of excited to see what they're going to do with it and actually bringing the story to life and to see where the game will go and stuff. Because I've heard that the community is so far with the game, that the stuff that has come out, it's doing pretty well. And I'm hoping it will do really well. And I'm hoping that the community will get better. And I'm hoping that maybe I'll have fun with the game, maybe with some friends. Just because it seems something up a lot of my friends' alley to play, and especially to play with.
I will give it a shot myself.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited to see. And the good thing is that they have the arachnophobia feature, which allows you to not get scared.
Oh, I'm not going to tell Leah about that, because Leah was why does it have to be spiders? When they showed Diablo, and I've talked to her about how Elder Scrolls has been. She's like, why does it always have to be spiders?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Diablo 4 finally getting its release date, and the Necromancer class announcement. I'm not a Diablo fan, but again, this is one where I go, it's on Game Pass. I might give it a good swing, a good try, I gotta earn those achievements and get past you, after all. I'm at almost. I'm just shy of 90K. You're at over 100. I have a ways to go.
Yeah, 106.75 right now.
Yeah, they did the Sea of Thieves Season 7 trailer, which was kind of cute and fun.
I'm excited.
I'm not a Sea of Thieves person, per se, mostly because the art style kind of bugs me a little bit, but I've also said that about other things like Borderlands and the Dragon Prince Netflix show.
Oh my gosh.
And I quickly got over that because it's by the same people who created Avatar: Last Airbender, so it's and it's voiced by the same voice actor as Sokka, so it's I will get over this, trust me.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the Sea of Thieves thing because I've been playing Sea of Thieves since day one. Me and my sister-in-law have since day one have been playing. Me and her don't always play together, but anymore. We used to play every weekend for I think almost a year, and it brings me joy that the game is now you finally get loadouts for your ship and create your own captain's quarters and name your ship. I'm excited for that. who knows? Maybe you guys will find me on the Seven Seas.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Again, one of those where I will give it a shot. So I will try it. If I don't like it, I can just
Have you never
uninstall.
played it?
I think I like fired it up once and got like 2 minutes in. I'm just like, I have no clue what I'm doing,
Oh,
and I
okay.
just
We gotta try at least one weekend.
okay,
You'll have fun with me,
okay.
especially when you can shoot each other out of cannons.
Dude, I always have fun with you, no matter what we are doing. Just somehow, I don't even remember what. Oh, like you're playing Call of Duty with you is really, really weird because you're not a Call of Duty person. But playing Warzone with you has just been the most fun thing. I swear to God, it's been awesome.
Because we do nothing but bullshit the entire time, and then we just go and hide, and then it's like, is someone coming? I don't think so. Goes around the corner, son of a bitch,
Oh
and
my
then we
God.
die.
Oh my God. Like when you were dead, I think it was just you and me, because I think whoever else was with us went to bed, and I'm just like, I'm in the hut, and then I went out to the porch. Oh, there's a chest. Guy comes over the wall. No. Well, Mr. President. And then another guy comes over the wall. I'm like, I'm already dead. I'm like, there was no way I was gonna do that. Nope.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. Like, I know there's other stuff. If you guys really want to, like, look into it, you know how to use. You guys have phones, right?
Yeah.
That is, speaking of Blizzard, by the way, that is something that will never die. I swear to God. Our grandchildren are like, what do you mean? Do we have phones? Of course we do. Phones have always been a thing, haven't they? Oh, son, let me tell you a story of the landline.
Oh,
And the brick.
welcome to AS. Oh God.
Because we are old enough to remember the brick. If
No.
maybe not in use, but my dad had the brick. I think.
Well, my dad did too.
I think our generation was most notably the Nokia. Like the 4-year-old that's running around our house is like, I try to explain to her, you don't understand. Internet did not exist when we were your age, and she just kind of looks at me like, what? They did do on Tuesday, they did do an Xbox Game Showcase Extended 2022 recap. And I'm just going to skim over this briefly because there's really nothing to it. First gameplay reveal of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And to clarify, no, I did not see this. One of our Discord people did, and he kept us updated on what was going on. And like I said, he's like, you know what? I'm not going to watch the rest of it because none of this has been particularly exciting. Valheim coming to PC, Game Pass in 2022, and Xbox in 2023. Yay, more Microsoft Flight Simulator. Releases World Update X, United States of America and U.S. territories today, and the Beechcraft Model 18, a new aircraft in Local Legends series. And finally, Fall Guys welcomes the world of Halo to the Blunder Dome. And I don't know if there was more to it, but that's just what this article by way of Brenda Salcedo. Oh, interesting. Huh. My mom's first husband's last name was Salcedo. Sorry, random. It's late, ladies and gentlemen. My brain is just all over the place right now. So, I think that's it. Kenny, did you have any other like notable stuff that you want to bring up, or you think needs to be brought up, or have we pretty much covered the basics?
I think we covered a good amount. Yeah.
Cool. I really thought you were gonna break into like another tangent there, because you sounded like you were, and then you just kind of faded away. You look like you're fading away.
Oh no. I think I'm good, and I hope everybody enjoyed this little. I know this was a little different than what Marcus usually does for the show, but we felt like it was going to be a fun little idea, and since Bethesda has joined the Microsoft team, felt like it was a good idea to kind of talk about the rest of the studio and the games that were coming out for it, and what kind of what we're excited for as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because while me and a lot of our listeners are avid ESO players, we all play different games, so we're all looking forward to different things. ESO isn't all we do, although I can't speak for the entire community. So some people need to change their diapers. Anyway, so uh, that's it for this episode of Legends Rise. Thank you all so much for joining us. And remember, if you want more stuff, you can check out our Discord. Once again, the links to those are on our Facebook and Twitter at Legends Rise ESO. Come be a part of the fun and make some new friends. And if you want more out of your experience, you can go to patreon.com/Legends Rise ESO and become a Legends Plus member. Music is Sons of Skyrim Epic Metal Remix, edited by me and performed by Brandon Strader. Like I said, new version of his remix that I chopped up and put together is coming at you next week. I believe we're going to start releasing on Fridays, so that way me and Lainey, or me and whoever, have the entire week to be able to do the recording. We'll still do occasional bonus episodes, just not every week. Bonus episodes are usually reserved for like guest spots or just random discussions. So we're not going to be obviously doing those every single week. You can find Brandon Strader on YouTube and Facebook at Best Raider. That is BESTRADER. Kenny, do you have any plugs?
Plugs? Well, I have a lot of things plugged in right now. My Xbox.
I just realized that was the very wrong thing to say to you in particular.
No. I was happy to join in on the show, and hopefully maybe I'll come back again.
I'm hoping so. I want to find some stuff for you to, because it's been a long time since you and I have sat behind a mic together, and I miss it. This is exactly what I was hoping for and looking forward to. And again, to recap, overall reaction of the showcase, I've seen much better. We've had
7 out of 10.
We've had E3s where we've had Gears, Halo, Fable, all hitting the table on the same, all hitting the stage at the same time. And those are the showcases that I look forward to the most. I thought that's what we were going to be getting this year, but it just didn't happen at all. 'Cause no State of Decay, no Fable, no Gears, nothing, no news on Halo stuff. I think there was a couple more things, but I can't think of it offhand. It was an alright showcase. I enjoyed it. I got hyped for it. I was just left wanting more by the end of it. So that's all I'm gonna say. So, Kenny.
Yes.
I suppose I should let people know you can find me on Xbox at Everyone's Problem, spelled with a 0 and no E at the end. Come hang with me and Kenny. Well, not on ESO, but you can find me on the North American server on ESO. But if you're not up for ESO, you can come join me and Kenny and our band of merry folk on Halo, COD, Minecraft, and a bunch of other stuff. So, Kenneth, this is the part where you shut your goddamn mouth and we let the outro music play out.
Oh, good night, everyone.
I've got to have you back on. This has been a blast. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you in Tamriel.